Papa Swole, yo. I'm a swole hole, yo. Papa Swole, yo. What up, Boosh? What up, Booshes? What up, Beeshes? Bustas, hussies, sluts, hoes. Got something special for all y'all today. What up, Vince? What up, DP? What up, Boosh? What up, Boosh & Co? Boosh & Co. It's a new clothing line, Beesh & Company. What up, Boosh? What's up, Zach? Tony? Harry? Hello, Harry. Papa and the Fam. Ooh, that's like a sitcom, Papa and the Fam. Hey, it's Papa and the Fam. It's Papa and the Fam. Sick gangs. Getting yoked like it ain't no joke. Yoked every motherfucking day, bro. Let's do this. Got something special for y'all to keep you entertained while you watch the games. Gyms are fucking up. Let me explain. Lots of fitness, but no bullshit.
The sun is shining. The birds are chirping.
No poop.
The bacon is sizzling.
Ah, bacon.
Welcome to the Daily
Oh, yes.
Swole.
I'll take it. Testing. 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 Testicles. Testicles. Welcome, everyone, to episode 969 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular swolecast, beardcast, broadcast, gaincast, mancast, pimpcast, sleevescast, slaycast, and taintcast, obvi, in the realm, because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. Welcome to episode 969. What up, beaches? What is going on? What is up in the swole world, swole paradise? Welcome, everyone, to episode 969. Welcome wherever you're joining me from. Are you joining? Are you joining on Facebook? Are you watching on Instagram? Guess what's going to go on in Facebook and Twitch and Periscope and YouTube in 3, 2, 1. Boom. You have a little bit something I want to try this year, I guess, because it's a brand new year for Papa Swole. This is the first day of Papa Swole's new year. You all are starting 2 days behind. So this is a video that I had on YouTube a while ago, like months ago. But I'm going to be playing some training videos and training content, going to overlay that so you can watch some stuff while I'm talking, and we'll see how it works out. I think it might be blocked. I don't know if it's going to be blocked by how many people are watching, but I'm going to play it in the corner. You know what I'll do? I'm going to move it. So I want to play some stuff that kind of like entertain you a little bit, because I'm fancy like that. SwoleNormousX.com. That's cool. Let's move that up here. Let's move this down here. I'll put my face down by my face, play it in the bottom right-hand corner. How's that? How y'all like that? So I thought that I would mix it up because I want to try some new things. I got some new stuff going on. I want to make some big announcements. So I'm going to play some workout stuff while you're watching. So that way when you're watching and I'm not showing you any demos, it's like you can watch and see some training content that maybe I haven't posted, some exclusive-ish. So it makes the live broadcasting extra cool. I thought you might enjoy it. So that being said, let's get into some of the latest that I want to discuss. New information dropping on your face hole. So most of you are following, obviously you watch live. Most of you, if not all of you, are part of the Swole fam here on the Daily Swole. Okay, so drop in the comments right now, wherever you're watching, if you're subscribed to the podcast, if you're subscribed to the Daily Swole podcast. And some of you might know where I'm going with this. But if you're subscribed to the Daily Swole podcast, just drop in the comments below. If you're subscribed, whether it's Apple Podcasts, whether it's Spotify. If you didn't know, now you're going to know. So if you didn't know, now you know, Beaches. I have two podcasts. I don't know if you knew this, but there is the Daily Swole podcast, which is the main flagship podcast. And I also have the Swolenormous audio experience. That's right. You can experience me audio-like. You can experience me. I can slam your ear holes in two places. So if you're subscribed, make sure you shout out. If you're subscribed, you've been subbed for over a year. Dan, you're awesome. Subscriber, cool. So I have two podcasts. And let me explain why I have two podcasts. See, someone said they just discovered the other podcast today. So I haven't been like publicly promoting the Swolenormous audio experience because I've been kind of, I don't know, whenever I'm not 100% on something or like there's something waiting, like I'm waiting to do something with it special, I kind of like pull back and I'm, kind of on the fringe with it. So I haven't really been pushing it super hard. I've had other content there for a long time, but it's kind of been, I don't want to say dead in the water, but I haven't been consistent. I'm consistent everywhere. I post all the time on every single fucking platform, but that's kind of like, I've been kind of sitting in the wind. So the Daily Swole has a certain type of flow. It has a certain community. It has a certain long form appeal. We've done interviews, we'll have interviews and guests and stuff in the future when necessary or when applicable. We'll do special things where we go in more depth in the video and the live broadcasting. The difference between the Daily Swole podcast and the Swolenormous audio experience is that the audio experience is completely 100% raw. It's 100% raw, and the benefits is it's usually bite-sized. It's usually anywhere between 1, 2, or 3 minutes. It could be 5 minutes. It could be 10 minutes. It could be 40 minutes. It could be an hour and a half. There are varying lengths, and sometimes it's more of like a vlog format. It's just a lot of different things depending on where I'm at, something that popped into my head. It could be a summary of the Daily Swole. It could be like a theme. It could be like a little bit of a, kind of like an abbreviation. It could like kind of, maybe, I don't know, simplify the Daily Swole. So if we have a long topic, it might be 5 minutes of a summary. There's throwback episodes of the Daily Swole on there, but I'm going to be throwing back older episodes of the Daily Swole, but putting that on the Swolenormous audio experience. I'm going to be putting other types of things like audio training content. I'm going to be putting other types of inspirational things, and it's going to be in all different shapes and sizes. So it would mean the world to me if you're subscribed and you listen to the Daily Swole podcast, that you also subscribe to the Swolenormous audio experience. There's a lot of content on there already, and that's really like my playground. So the Daily Swole is, of course, my playground. I do what I want, but the Daily Swole has its kind of, we're moving. We got momentum. We got that inertia. We got that flow. And the Swolenormous audio experience is really, it's uncut, it's raw, it's oftentimes straight from my phone, it's really casual, but it's straight and to the point. So it's a nice blend, and it's very, very much like Instagram posts and Facebook posts, but in audio form. So it's a lot of amazing content. So if you're wherever you're subscribed, it doesn't matter what platform you're on, you can find the Swolenormous audio experience. And the thumbnail has been changed. I don't know if you saw the change. I don't know if it's updated everywhere yet, but it's either similar to Daily Swole because that was the old one. It looked kind of similar, so I wanted to separate it more, but it's a white thumbnail now. And it has me going like this. And it says Swolenormous audio experience. So that's a really cool podcast. Highly recommend you go and subscribe and make sure you give it a thumbs up. You can still give that a review on iTunes. So that's like a playground. And I highly recommend you go in and checking that out. If you like this content, if you like my Instagram posts, you like everything, if you're following the Swole, you're going to want to go there. Let's see. Dun, 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 dun. What else is new? I am going to be hitting everything hard. You're going to be hearing a lot from me, of course, this week because it's fucking your new year. I wouldn't say your new year because a lot of you are on the Swolenormous train and you celebrated yesterday with me. So happy second new year. But this is where it's publicly becoming a new year. And I want to kind of clarify. Hold on, I got a burp, I think, again. Oh, yeah. That was good. Oh, what up, fam? All right, so let me break down what this episode's about. The gyms are fucking up. So in the comments, because I've been posting a lot of training videos, I've been hearing a lot of people like, yeah, I'm crushing it. Yeah, I'm getting it. Yeah, I'm fucking going after it. Great workout today. Gonna fucking crush tomorrow, And I'm hearing a lot of limited hours or my gym's closed. My gym's closed on New Year's, so I'm going to crush it hard today. I'm going to do extra today because I can't go tomorrow. I'm just going to do some yoga or something. And my gym is actually open from 8 to 12. And it got me thinking today. It got me really fucking pissed off. It got me really, really pissed off today because why the fuck is any gym in the fucking world on limited hours? Why is January 1st a holiday? Why is it a fucking holiday? It's a product of people being lazy and wanting to stay up late and not wanting to go to work. It's a holiday. It's not a fucking holiday. It's January 1st. Like, I don't understand why a gym would be limited hours. It should be open fucking an hour earlier. What gym wouldn't want to run like amazing specials? Come on in, bring a friend. We'll give you fucking 75%. Like, run amazing sales. Encourage people to get in shape. Don't be like, hey, you have to come between, 8 and 12. You have to come between a couple hours or we're closed. What about people that want to fucking forget people that are resolutioners, all right? Because those people are fucked from the start. They're not going to see great results. They're going to quit after a while anyway. But what about someone like myself who's consistent as shit? And a lot of you out there are consistent as shit. What about those of us that like to train every day, that like to go to the fucking gym? And now we have to like compress our day into like a couple hours because why? Why is it open from like my gym? Why is it open from 8 a.m. to 12? If it has to do with people not wanting to wake up early, why would you just not make it from like 12 to 4? If you're open at 8, you might as well be open at 5. And why not just have regular fucking hours? It's a goddamn Tuesday. It's a fucking Tuesday. Gyms are fucking up. It's one thing if a gym is open a little bit. It's another thing if the gym is closed. Any gym that's closed on New Year's Day is out of their fucking mind, especially if it's like a mom and pop gym. You're dumb as shit. You're dumb as a box of fucking rocks. No joke. There is no gym that should be closed on January 1st. There's no gym that should have limited hours. If anything, you should have extra hours. You should have, you know what I would do if I was a gym owner? I would have my gym open. I would have you could have a New Year's Eve party. I would have it starting at midnight. If you're at the gym at midnight, let's say you're there, I would have it open 24, even if I'm not open 24 hours, I would have it open 24 hours and run ridiculous specials in the middle of the night. Because then people are going to come by drunk and sign up for a gym membership between 12 and 4 and they'll just pay all this money. Like, I don't care. Swipe the card, man. Yeah, I'm going to get fucking close. Yeah. Right? Run specials from 12 to 4 when people are on their way home, like wasted. They can stop by the gym and then they can sign up for a membership. It's just crazy. I think it's crazy. I think it's fucking ludicrous. I think it's so stupid. Especially when there's such a resolution push this time of year. We all know that. It's that classic. I don't like it. I've been ranting on it. I'm actually glad that tomorrow is January 1st, because then I can stop talking about, well, I guess I'm not going to stop talking about resolutioners, because then now it's going to be actually current and we're going to be able to talk about it again. But I'm glad that we're kind of over this hump. It exhausts me. I mean, I love ranting about it. I love raging about it, but I'm done with it. I want to fucking move on. I want everyone to kind of come out from that alcoholic fat haze and realize that your health means a lot more than eating a piece of pie. If you had any fucking idea how much this type of food, bad food, simple carbohydrates, all this crap, how bad it is for your body and how much it fucks your body up, you would never touch this stuff again. It's amazing how bad it is. How bad, like it's so serious for long-term health. It's scary. For mental health, for cardiovascular disease, how important your gut bacteria, your gut biome is for your risk of heart disease, your brain function. It's mind-blowing what people put into their bodies, and the lack of willingness to do anything about it, the lack of accountability that people have to change their fat ways. It's so fucked up, we change it to this whole thing about, well, if you eat less calories, you can burn more fat and you can drop weight. We make it about weight loss. We make it about having 6-pack abs. We make it about having biceps. We make it about having quads or whatever it is. Doesn't matter. We make it about all that shit. Whereas it's much bigger than that. It's much bigger than having a physique. It's about your body surviving, lasting, thriving for the long term. Like, you're risking your health. You're risking your success. You are putting your body in a position to fail long term. Dementia, Alzheimer's disease, heart disease, diabetes. And a lot of people are getting fucked up young. Children, fat children. Oh my God. I posted in my Instagram story today. Did all of you see that? By the way, I know I post everywhere because I want to have the content that you want to see and you want to hear wherever you consume. If you like Facebook, I understand. If you like Twitch, I understand. That's why I stream everywhere. But on Instagram, those of you that use Instagram, you're watching here. Even if you use Instagram as a secondary platform, there's a highlight feature. Okay. I don't know how many of you, a lot of people waste the highlights. They waste it. You click on a highlight, there's one thing to swipe up on, or there's one post. I have a couple that are just one thing, but I have wallpapers. I have training content. I fill those things. I add stuff to my highlights all the time when the Swolenormous community, when the family posts pictures or tags me and it's a really good one, I'll add it there. So I have a lot of highlights that you can see, the tutorials, the exercise videos that I'm posting on Instagram and Facebook. I have them in the highlights, but I have some more tips and some breakdowns on there anyway. I call this one new section. I have an eggplant there because it's the knowledge cock section. It's the knowledge cock highlight reel. So every time that I'm doing a story where it might be several stories in a row where I wouldn't say ranting, but I have a specific topic that I'm trying to drive home, I'm putting it there in my highlights. And today I was in line at the supermarket, as I often am, because I'm buying food because I'm making sick fucking gains. I need food to make those gains. You know what I'm saying? So I had my avocados and asparagus, and I had healthy stuff, right? Good stuff, fiber, good fats, all that stuff. And this dude in front of me, these two dudes, really, really fucking overweight, diabetic for sure, if not just like hanging on the edge of diabetes. Immobile as hell, like holding onto the conveyor belt, like leaning forward, just stiff as shit. Like it looked like a petrified man. This one guy was worse than the other. And they had 4 or 5 bags of Wise potato chips. I know it's New Year's Eve. I don't give a fuck. Like all just junk, right? Hillshire Farm processed meat. It was just literally nothing. Not one thing was beneficial. Not one thing was like, oh, that's not that bad. And I look at my food, okay? And I want you to think about something. So when you think you're cheating, like what do you consider a cheat meal? What do you consider a treat for you? What do you consider a snack? I want to tell you what my snack is. My snack is clementines. If I want something sugary or I want something like a treat like candy, I eat a clementine. It's sweet, it's delicious, and it's fucking real, so I have it. Or maybe I have some grapes. Ooh, some grapes. But grapes sometimes make me a little gassy. I don't think I really react well to grapes. I love frozen grapes, but I'm starting to learn, I don't think my body reacts super well to frozen. Or maybe just because I eat a massive bag of them because I love them so much. It's probably the quantity more than anything else. But like that's my treat. And I look at that and I look at what they were buying. I'm like, my God, even their whatever was there wasn't even something good that I would have. There wasn't even something there that I would cheat with. Like, I don't want any of those garbage chips. I don't want any of that fucking shit. I eat real food as my treat, as my quote cheat meals. I remember, what do you consider a cheat meal? A cheat meal for me, or a cheat food, is not pizza. It's not pizza. It's not cookies. It's not candy. A cheat meal or a cheat food for me would be a piece of like 85% dark chocolate or a couple clementines. And that's not even cheating. It's actually real food. I mean, I enjoy the food that I eat. I enjoy the taste. I enjoy the flavor. I enjoy what I'm eating. And most people just eat garbage all the time. It just reinforces every time I go to the supermarket and I look, it reinforces how good my nutrition is. Because I don't see on anyone else's cart or in anyone else's conveyor belt, I don't see anything that I would even consider touching, let alone cheat with. Like this is what, and I look and I see this is what people eat. If you want to see how fucked up, if you really wonder why, if you really want to see the truth of how unhealthy this country is, go to the supermarket and just look at other people's carts. Look at what they're buying and just remember and think about, this is what people are eating all the time. This is what they're fueling themselves with. And it's processed shit. That's what they're fucking eating all the time. That's like their norm. And it's ridiculous. And I see people in the comments, right? You have like fruit and stuff. Make sure that shit's organic as best as you can. Make sure that your beef is 100% grass-fed. Make sure that your chocolate is not Hershey's dark, because that's bullshit chocolate. Make sure it's as dark as it can be, and it's organic and it's quality. You're not eating, tons of sugar. I mean, this is, we're talking in small quantities. If you have really rich dark chocolate, you're not going to be eating a lot of it. You get full. It's very dense. Yeah, they had diet soda. I mean, this is all the shit that's really, really, really causing problems. And when you look and actually observe, and a lot of times I keep my head down because a lot of times I just don't want to look. It just makes me angry, upset, and miserable. And I really would love, I know like it's socially unacceptable to publicly berate people for diet. Like my video that was viral, the You're Fat video that Facebook started blocking, by the way. Did you guys know that? I think I told you a while ago. It was running for a long time. It had like 5 or 6 million views, the one that says You're Fat. And then eventually when I was like posting it in different places, it started getting like shut down. It started getting like error messages like, I can't talk about people the way people look. If you don't let people talk about how people look, how are we going to make any fucking change? Not by holding hands across America, because that shit ain't working. We don't get the information. We don't get information about shit that actually makes a difference. All the things that are most important, we don't hear about. All the important science that's actually going to help us with health, it gets pushed under the table. You don't see that shit on Fox News or CNN. That gets pushed off to the side because the lobbyists and people with all the money pay and support these companies so they don't publish the fucking news that is going to, affect their business, affect their pharmaceutical business. So we don't get all the research. We don't get all the articles. And then, of course, one of these third-party news networks might be like the Green News or something. And everyone's like, oh, that's just hippie news. That's just bullshit. And people just pass it off as fucking like, home remedy scams. So it doesn't get any real credibility. But that's because any of the, quote, real networks won't post this information. So my diet's been tamales for the last 2 weeks. Bro, you're killing yourself, man. Killing yourself with that processed flour. Why do you think white flour, why do you think they make all these things, these processed foods with like white flour and shit? It's because no one wants to eat it. Not even bugs. This stuff doesn't rot. It stays on the shelf for years and years and years. It's like, no, I mean, back on it. I appreciate that for you, but I mean, you should never be off it. Like, it doesn't matter. I understand sometimes if you get busy and you don't work out, you're not in the gym, your gym's closed, you're on vacation, but you should never, ever be off your nutrition game. You should never be eating this crap. If you really look into how much this affects you as a person, how much it affects your body, you wouldn't touch that shit with a fucking 10-foot pole. No joke. Or whatever, tamales, corn. Corn is fucking god awful, bro. Corn is garbage. Absolutely garbage. Genetically modified garbage. You get no value from corn. Exactly what I said before just stays the same. What do you think of this flour and corn? Do you think it's any different? Everything's made with corn. Everything's fucking made with corn. CaliFit on YouTube. Why is it wrong to comment to a person the crap they eat, but they can tell you just eat this as the holidays and that's okay? Because they make a high profit margin on junk food. They make a high profit margin on junk food. Well, it depends. I mean, I use beef tallow, but from 100% grass-fed cows. Nothing wrong with real animal fats. The real shit, not the fake shit. So, look, honestly, and I'm not going to sit here and berate you and make everyone just, but it's the truth. You should never be eating that shit. It's just not the fuel for your body. You shouldn't be eating grains. You should be staying away from a lot of those things. No fucking grains, man. You don't need that shit. Super, super bad. Gluten, get the fuck out of your system. Get it the fuck out of your system. How many of you are still eating bread? How many of you are fucking still eating bread? How many of you are still eating pasta and grains? Get that shit. Look, if you're going to cut out one thing, if you don't want to do the whole elimination process, if you're too lazy or you're too uppity or I can't do it, I don't really believe in it. If you cut out grains, gluten, all that shit, wheat, it's a fucking life and a game changer. It's not doing anything for you. It's not helping you. It's not fucking helping you. Just do a little basic research. You are so much better off without it. Get your fiber. Get your high quality high quality fats. All right. Moderate with the protein, back off pounding so much fucking protein. You don't have to fucking eat red meat regular. You can get pastured eggs, you can get wild fish, you can get different sources if you're not a big red meat fan. You don't have to pound red meat either. I eat red meat pretty regularly, really regular, but I mean, I don't eat pounds of it a day. I'm not on a fucking carnivore diet. It's certain things that you have to keep in balance. It's okay to do intermittent fasting. Why does intermittent fasting work? Why is it popular? Because people are fucking eating less. That's why intermittent fasting works. You're skipping breakfast. Your stomach's going to shrink a little bit and you're going to have less time to stuff your fat face. That's why you might lose weight, but it still doesn't change the fact that you're eating the wrong foods. People are always trying to cut down calories, but they're not getting the right nutrients. They're still eating inflammatory foods. That's why they still have cravings. That's why they're not sleeping well. That's why they don't have energy. That's why they're still crashing, because they're not eating the right foods fundamentally. It's the most important thing. The right food, fuck the timing, fuck your macros and all that stuff. Figure out the right foods for you by an elimination process. Eat the right foods, the highest quality you possibly can, and then you can start nitpicking the details. Trust me, you have to start there. Absolutely have to start there. Damn, I ate corn yesterday. Feeling good this morning, though. Has nothing to do with feeling good. All right? I mean, everyone gets this misconception that you're going to eat something and feel bad. You don't think it could be fucking up your gut and fucking up your system just because you don't feel bad? It's doing damage. It's not benefiting your body. Everyone's body reacts differently, and just because you might resist it or you might feel temporarily good, it can affect you tomorrow. It can affect you the next day. The foods you eat can affect you 72 hours after you consume them. It's not instantaneous. But corn is like indigestible. I like coffee in the morning. Some people are very sensitive to caffeine. That's why an elimination is so very important, because if you figure out and you cut these things out, you realize you're super sensitive to caffeine and it really affects you negatively when you add it back in. Then some people are very sensitive. Some people are not that sensitive to caffeine. I love my coffee and I'm not sensitive to it in that respect. I don't have coffee and it fucks me up, but some people can't sleep at night. Sometimes people get irritable from caffeine. They don't realize how much until they remove it for several weeks. It's a process. Do I eat any dairy as a healthy fat? If you have grass-fed butter or ghee or something like that, it can usually be okay. Ghee is good for a lot of people because it has no lactose or casein, and butter has very, very low levels. So if you're extremely lactose intolerant, ghee is a good option. That's about it. Thanks for eating meat. Well, I only eat 100% grass-fed. A lot of people still pound grain-fed. If you're eating any kind of animal products with antibiotics that are grain-fed, you're doing your body a massive disservice, and you're really, truly negatively impacting your health. You need to be eating animals or products of that nature that the way that they're supposed to eat. You don't want to get antibiotic residue on your food. And that's a problem with a lot of low quality vegetables and cheap vegetables. You get the runoff, you get antibiotic residue, you get a lot of these resistant bacteria and all these products from this mass farming and the factory farmings and the runoffs in the Midwest and shit like that, flash flooding, and you get all these products. And GMO is extremely bad because of the replication in the body and the system and the DNA. It's serious. And a lot of people like to make it out to be, oh, you're chasing ghosts, or you're just being really obsessive. Oh, it's genetically modified. Don't worry so much about it. We got to feed the world and all that shit. You always hear about it. I see in the comments all the time. It makes a difference. It makes a difference. Like, how the fuck would you know? You're not a scientist. It makes sense. It's not natural. And when it's not natural, it's a danger to the body. It's a risk. And I want to just bring it up again. Do we need to see any more statistics? Do we need to see more fat people around to realize that what we're doing is not right as a country? Right? I mean, why? Yeah, exactly. Look at all the E. coli outbreaks. Like, why is there E. coli on spinach? Why are there all these... Because you're getting all this shit that's running off these farms where there's antibiotics and sick, dying fucking animals, and it's running off onto actual plants, and it's getting in the soil. It's getting transported around. It's a huge problem. It's a huge problem. If you look at how fat everyone is, size small is now, right? Size small is now a medium. the clothing is changing. We talked about this yesterday, I believe, that I'm wearing clothes that are smaller sizes because everyone's getting fatter. So I wear a medium instead of a large in a lot of things, like for pants or, athletic pants. A medium fits me well. I got a pair of shorts for Christmas that are small. It's a small. And I have fucking glutes and I have thighs, and a small fits me nice, which is like, holy shit. You know? So, a lot of problems. A lot of problems. And you don't know anything about yourself until you actually start eliminating. And most people don't want to go without a food that they've been eating for 6 weeks. It's a short period of time. But you're going to have cravings and you're going to have resistance. You're going to have effects. You're not going to see all the changes. You're still going to have cravings. Like if you've been eating certain foods that are not good for you for 25 years, it's going to take you a while to get that out of your system completely. Psychologically too. It's not going to be like, oh, 3 months, I still have cravings for pizza. No shit, you've been eating it for 30 years. Now your body has to really reset. Your mind, you have to change your relationship to food. Literally every time you eat, your food is a tool. It's a tool. It gets you from point A to point B. It's not something you should look for as entertainment. It's survival. And the more you can mimic how a human being is supposed to eat with some scarcity, have some fasting days, have some days where you're maybe even having higher carbohydrates than lower carbohydrates, maybe lower protein than more protein, no red meat for a day or two, and then more red meat like you just had a kill. It's good to intermittently break up your routine. You don't have to be eating fucking stuff in your face every day. Now, if you're trying to make gains and put on muscle, that's not how the human body is really, it will react that way and adapt, but I'm not saying it's the best thing for health. I don't even know if I ever said that, like building and getting huge and eating in excess is healthy. Your body will adapt and it'll build muscle, but in terms of health, that's questionable because you're putting your body under a lot of stress when you're lifting weights all the time. You are exposing your body to excessive calories, so there's other risks with that. So I think it's important to give your body scarcity. It's important to take foods away and to eliminate things and simulate what it's like if you don't have those foods available. And that's how it was in nature. You didn't always have a fresh kill. It's okay to eat red meat. It's okay to eat these types of foods in larger quantities now and again, but you don't want to necessarily pound 3 pounds of it every fucking day. It's just generally not the best idea. Yeah, see, corn and soy, it destroys the omega-3 profile. I don't want any of that touching any of my animals. Of course, I don't sit there and feed them myself. So, you have to trust the labels, but they're pretty strict. Companies are very strict because things are so transparent with social media and information. You want it to be 100% grass-fed, to the end. There are studies out there that show that the omega-3 profile and the healthy fat profile gets destroyed when they grain-fed, when they grain-finish animals. I don't want any corn or soy. I mean, cows aren't supposed to eat that shit. They're not supposed to eat it. They will eat it. And of course they get fatter. Sure. That's why farmers like to pump all those fucking things in. You have to give them antibiotics and all these things in order to keep them alive because they get fat, they get big, and they're going to get sick and die because they're eating food that they're not designed to consume. So, I'm not telling you how to do your business. I mean, you're not the only one, but 100% grass-fed, grass-finished is the only way you should be consuming meat. It's the only way. Do I eat pork other than bacon? No, I don't. But I get, heritage breed bacon, really, really high quality, no sugar, no nitrates. I don't eat a lot of other pork. I never really got into it. I just never went to it to cook. I don't know. Just more of a beef person, but so in terms of like eating other pork, I have in the past, but in terms of like high quality, like regular, that's never been my thing. I just never tried or put the effort into like learning how to cook it because it's a different type of meat. I don't want to cook it and like make it really tough and like I'm chewing leather or some shit. Let me see here. Thoughts on seafood? In terms of seafood, I like sardines, anchovies. Sardines are really, really good. Tons of omega-3 sustainably. You can get wild sardines and they're really inexpensive. And of course, they stay in the tank. You just don't want BPA in your can lining and stuff. But you can get high quality ones. Whole Foods, a lot of stores. A lot of this higher quality food is becoming more ubiquitous. You're seeing it in more places. wild seafood. I mean, look, it's harder to get cleaner food. I mean, there's a lot of times residue on things. You'll find in most places, like you can find particles of a lot of shit in a lot of different places. I mean, supplements are one thing. You know, in a lot of supplements, you'll find tainted. You could find anabolics. You could find steroids in some of these supplements because it's processed on similar equipment. You'll find it's a lot of dirt. There's a lot of sketchy shit that goes down with supplementation. You know, I've talked about this many times before, like how they'll spike supplements. I've talked about how they'll add supplements. They'll add different illegal substances to make the product more viable when they first release it. You know, before they get busted, they remove it and the FDA can't catch them. Like there's no regulation. Once they pass a couple different testing, they can kind of put whatever they want in there. And the quality control is really low, especially when there's supplement companies popping up every fucking day, especially with social media and Instagram. Everyone's got a supplement company. You know, it's super easy to outsource it. Like you just call up a fucking lab or one of these companies that white label products. You could tell them what you want in it and then slap your label on it and sell it on Shopify and boom, you're a supplement company. It's like, what do you know that's going on there? Are you traveling to Kuala Lumpur or wherever the fuck it is? Are you traveling to Indonesia to see if they're scrubbing the fucking Dianabol off the machines before they make your creatine? I mean, there's a lot of garbage. That's why there was a whole thing recently about steroids. If you watch MMA with John Jones, if you heard about that, I mean, there's some shit going around that isn't. It's not all criminal activity and people trying to cheat. It's just like residues and things that stick around and stuff we're still learning. Science is young when it comes to nutrition, like real science about gut bacteria. It's complicated and there's so many different variables when it comes to an individual, how a food will affect you. And we're learning about DNA and epigenetics and how, right? So one person might consume red meat. I don't care. Let's say it's 100% grass fed. Let's say it's the best meat in the world. Let's say there was like, whoa, this is the best meat you could possibly eat. One person might react really well to it. Another person might not. That one person might be allergic or something to red meat. So how, you can't just blanket. That's why I don't say everyone should be eating this. That's why you should be eating this. That's why I don't say that. That's why I promote the elimination process. And I talk about what I eat and I make suggestions, but there's a reason why a lot of times I'm vague and it's more like you have to figure that out, but here's how you can do that. Just most people won't do it. But those of you that are in Swolenormous X, those of you that are Swolenormous X members and you've done the nutrition jumpstart, you've done the elimination, you know by actually doing it yourself what you've discovered. So if you're watching now and you're a member, drop in the comments what you have eliminated. We've done this before. And I'll share it if it pops up before we go off here. Like, what have you eliminated that you noticed and done the elimination? You'll see a major change. You'll see major differences because most people don't eliminate things. They don't want to. I get it. You get addicted to foods. You get addicted to your routine. You don't want to go through 6 to 8 weeks of cutting a food out. Well, it doesn't fucking matter if you want to or not. Do you want results? Do you want to see change? Do you want to actually pursue true health? I didn't watch the fights though. Yeah, well, they were talking about that. They were talking about Joe Rogan had it on his podcast. He had one of the scientists on there talking about like a pulsing effect that the body releases it over time because there's some serious now that the testing is so detailed, the testing is so fucking detailed, they can measure just millionths of a particle, just so small. It's not accurate at that level. So you can't tell whether or not someone has re-administered, but usually it's not the case. It's just like, residue that's kind of floating around, or maybe has, eliminated from the fat cells, for example, like someone mentioned when they were starting to cut weight before the fight or something. It's just, the science is new and it's getting better. Technology is just ramping up. So a lot of this technology that we're getting a lot of this information from, even in scientific studies, these scientific studies take time. You're not going to find out what happens when someone does this for 10 years until someone does a study that covers 10 years, right? So as we get all this technology, you still have to have people that do these scientific studies in the right manner. And then it's how many studies? It's going to take another 50 or 100 years as we keep on figuring this shit out and putting layer and layer over study and really mapping it out. But The technology is only now getting to the point where we can really get some actual answers. So people that just quote a study from the fucking 50s or 60s, well, this is a bull fucking shit. Like, think about this, everyone, okay? What information do you still hold dear and true to your heart that we had from the 1950s or 60s? People are still quoting studies from the 80s, from the 70s, from the 60s, from fucking nutrition. Do you trust anything from the 60s? Your cell phone is more powerful than the fucking computers in the NASA space program in the 60s. Your cell phone is more powerful than the entire fucking computing power of NASA in the 60s. And you're going to trust scientific studies from the 19 fucking 60s? Get the fuck out of here. Think about that shit. Think about what people actually trust from a science standpoint from fucking almost 100 years ago. It's absolutely ludicrous. It's stupid. We have so much more technology now. We just got to keep on doing the same studies. We got to do it again and check deeper and check different layers and different combinations, different variables. You wouldn't trust a damn thing. Think of all the food pyramid. Think about that shit, right? We laugh at the fucking food pyramid. The food pyramid is why everyone's fucking dying. The food pyramid is garbage. Garbage. You want to trust anything else from that era? The food pyramid era? Get the fuck out of here. Enjoy your soybean oil. Killing everyone. There we go. Ash, sugar and simple carbs I eliminated. Almost all dairy. Cheese is my weakness. All seafood and fish literally was killing me. I didn't know I was allergic. Holy shit, you see? But your body, the thing is you eat it all these years and your body adapts, right? You adapt and you don't notice all these reactions because your body creates defense mechanisms and it becomes your new normal. You get used to that joint pain, right? You get used to, my name's Ash and I just have migraines once in a while, right? You're that person that just has migraines once in a while. Like, I hope I don't get a migraine. Yeah, I get migraines sometimes. No one wonders. You're not supposed to just get random migraines. Something's causing that. You don't just have random fucking joint pain. Something's causing that joint pain. We're exposing ourselves to these chronic issues. Oh, I just have trouble sleeping. Yeah, it must be, I don't know. I'm just have trouble sleeping. I've always been like that. Well, you've always been eating the wrong fucking shit. It's like these things come from somewhere. It's not natural to have sleep problems. It's not natural to have migraines. It's not natural to have chronic joint pain for no fucking reason. It's not natural to have, to crash at 2:00 in the afternoon and feel exhausted and sleepy. It's because you're not exercising. You're eating the wrong fucking foods. You're stressed out. You're not happy with what you do for a living. You're blah, 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 blah. All these different things, but it all makes a massive difference. It all plays. My husband's grandpa ate large sandwiches. Ooh, I don't know about a large sandwich, but lived to be 91. Well, I mean, it's quality of life, not just quantity. But yeah, I mean, people, hell yeah, Swolenormous X, check mark. Nice. After elimination diet, I had to cut out wheat, rice, oats, and all dairy and beans. Cut it out. You can have ghee, though. You might be able to get away with ghee if it's a lactose or casein issue. Yeah, see, I don't eat those things anyway. Wheat, rice, oats, no beans. I don't need any of that. So you don't need it. You don't need it. You're not getting, show me some healthy fucking vegans. They're struggling. Vegans always struggle. People that are going, now you should be eating tons of fiber, vegetables, fiber, but not net carbs. You should be cutting that down, minimizing that. I have a sweet potato now and, I don't eat like 6 a fucking day, but my beef is like 55% lean. It's tons of fat. So you don't need all this protein. You don't need tons of carbs. You need fiber, you need fats, and you need quality food sources. Quality food sources, fam. Quality food sources. Yeah, Rhonda Patrick is good too. Yeah, if you want to listen to some good nutrition podcasts, go on Joe Rogan's podcast and listen to the ones with Rhonda Patrick and the Nutrition Podcast. They had some great debates somewhat recently. Yeah, The Plant Paradox, Dr. Gundry's book is great. I mean, these are all like, these are different people and these are different scientists and different doctors and medical professionals that have different experiences, that have studied different things. So if you layer them, I'm not saying, oh, this person's law, but if you layer, like, look for the patterns, okay? Because you can't just say one person's right and has all the answers. Any true scientist or knowledgeable or intellectual or intelligent person will say they don't know everything. And I certainly don't know everything. But if you take what all this content is, right? Rhonda Patrick, Dr. Gundry's book, Chris Kresser, all these people that are like our ancestral diet, Rob Wolf, any of these people, right? I haven't read all their stuff, but I know some of these big names that you hear all over and over again. Got tongue tied there. And if you layer all these different things and just look for the commonalities, it really makes a lot of sense. Okay. You might have different opinions, varying opinions, but then don't forget, there's so many different variations and variables within an individual person. Okay. You have to take into factor genetics. You have to take into factor lifestyle, location, all these other things, your history and whatever. I mean, there's so many different factors. So not one thing will work for everyone, but if you layer all these things, it's like cut out the fucking grains, cut out the processed food, get rid of the dairy for the most part. Sometimes full fat raw dairy, okay, it doesn't affect you as much, but obviously quality proteins. No one's out there promoting grain-fed beef and antibiotic pumped chicken. No one's out there saying get tons of GMOs and get sprayed shit. No one's talking about getting tons of soda. You know what? No one's fucking talking about eating all those garbage foods. They're talking about doing things properly. Urban Barefoot, right? I had someone mention, now that I saw you join, check this out. Getting to the barefoot stuff. All right. So we kind of covered the diet stuff, but in other words, you'll see so many people that have good opinions and good research on proper nutrition. And if you layer all these different people on top, you'll see the common theme. You'll see the healthy fats. You'll see, the moderate, limited net carbohydrates, right? You'll see the quality protein sources and not excessive protein, not 2 pounds per gram, 2 grams per pound of body weight in this stupid fucking bro science shit. You'll see all these different things that are promoting true health, high in fiber, quality fats, low, moderate protein, right? And then I had someone mention, because I've been posting all these workout videos, and this goes back to the barefoot thing I did the other day. And people are, of course, hating on the quote shoes, because I have the Vibrams and I wear the most minimal Vibrams, the classics. And I had someone say, the only thing that should be abolished from this video are the shoes. I mean, like, what? You're going to criticize being barefoot? You think barefoot? Or why are you barefoot? Or why are you, why would you wear those shoes? That's an abomination. Like, being barefoot is an abomination, so you would rather not have feet. Like, I don't understand why people are adverse to being barefoot. I don't see why people are so against being natural. Why are people against being a natural fucking human being? Now I'm getting fired up. I'm getting amped up. This caffeine's starting to kick in. Urban Barefoot. Everyone go check out the Urban Barefoot on Instagram. He's a foot fanatic. So I like him. I have 50 plus articles and research on benefits of functional footwear. Haven't seen one study that supports supporting your feet. Why would there be? Being barefoot is natural. So what people do is they use the fucking platform shoes, right? They use a platform shoes that elevate the heel. Now, why would you want to elevate the heel? Oh, I see. Because you don't have good form without having an elevated heel. Why? Because your calves are so fucking tight. You're forward leaning. You're going to crush your lumbar spine when you squat if you're not elevating your heels 4 fucking inches. I mean, everyone's wearing elevated heels. If you're wearing, the big misconception is that if you're a woman, oh, you're wearing high heels, that's not good for you. Why do you think women are always rubbing their feet? Why do you think women always have lower back pain? Because a plantar flexes their ankles and their hips tilt forward and it crushes their lumbar spine. You have excessive extension and then you get bulging discs, herniations, and chronic back pain. Then you have shoulder pain because it takes the hips out of kilter. Then you have tight lats and you have shoulder pain and neck pain. And it's fucking just rampant, especially with women when it comes to their hip angle. High risk for ACL injuries and knee pain and shit like that. So, women have a high pain tolerance, so they can get away with wearing heels a lot more than men. But the big misconception is that it's high heels. Well, New Balance are high heels. Nikes are high heels. All these fucking shoes, sneakers, just regular shoes, dress shoes. Dress shoes are high heels for men. They're stiff. They're clunky. I can't wear shoes for 5 fucking minutes before my knees start hurting. I just feel uncomfortable. Literally, I cannot wear shoes anymore. Fucks me up. I have a pair of like slip-on kind of like rubber, almost like Crocs, but they're made by Vivo Barefoot, but they're made for like boating or something. I can't even wear those anymore. I only wear my Vibrams. I only wear my classics because they mimic just being barefoot. And when I can, I take those off. I love when people make fun of that. I'm like, dude, if I didn't want my feet to just be black and just be in the gym, I would be completely barefoot in the gym. but it has rules, so I'll wear the Vibrams. I would completely go barefoot. That's the way you should be. I don't understand why people hate that. It's the same thing with food. Oh, but I don't want to eat that. It's not for fucking fun. You don't put sugar or water in your gas tank in your car. You put in gasoline. Why? Your car runs on gasoline, Schmendrick. That's why you do that. Why would you eat this healthier food? Because your body runs on that. Shocker. Why would I wear barefoot shoes? Because you're supposed to be fucking barefoot. Otherwise, you would come out of your mother's pussy with a pair of Nikes on, but you don't. All right. I don't want to get too much into the whole, footwear thing because we're running out of time. We're going to wrap this up. But look, that's my, for all of you, because I started my new year yesterday. For all of you, that's the last rant of the year. I think we covered nutrition. We covered gyms that are fucking up, being closed or limited hours on New Year's Day. And we covered footwear. We covered everything. So for those of you that are just showing up now, great time to go back and rewind and watch the beginning part of this podcast. But don't forget, everyone, I just want to remind you, subscribe if you're not subscribed to my other podcast as well. So if you are a follower and a subscriber of the Daily Swole podcast, you will absolutely love, I hope you will love this Swolenormous audio experience. So you can find that everywhere. So if you listen on Apple Podcast or Spotify, everywhere, you can still subscribe to the Swolenormous audio experience. It's an easy search away, and you'll get a lot of little tidbits, a lot of little snippets, and you'll get probably one or two uploads a day. And it's great. You'll get training content, nutrition content, inspirational content, sometimes summaries of the Daily Swole. I did that for a while in the past, but I'm making 2019 the year of the Swolenormous audio experience. There's going to be a lot of stuff on there that's exclusive and only on the podcast there. So I understand that some people don't maybe like this format, or I don't see why you wouldn't. This is fucking making gains, but some of you don't have maybe an hour all the time. So you can go there and boom and listen to something. It might be 5 minutes, it might be 2 minutes, it might be 10 minutes, but they're usually going to be shorter and sometimes they'll be longer, but I'll do throwback episodes of the Daily Swole there. So it's going to be super cool. There's going to be some stuff, a lot of stuff that's unique to the audio experience. So make sure if you're subscribed to the Daily Swole podcast, you're down with the podcast, you're down with the PODCAST, go check out the Swolenormous audio experience as well and make sure you subscribe. So thank you so much for joining me for episode 969. If you are not part of the Swolenormous family and you're not celebrating, and you are actually celebrating, you're celebrating the social new year tomorrow. Be safe. Just be safe tonight and make sure that you are starting your year off the right way. And if your gym's not open, fuck your gym, but do yoga at home. And make sure if you're interested in workouts, you want to fucking get started, January 1st, you want to get started, go to swolenormousx.com, and you can always make some sick fucking gains at swolenormousx.com. If you want your programs, nutrition, the brand new Swole 7 mobility section, all that stuff, recipes, nutrition jumpstart, all of it, swolenormousx.com, best time to start. And if you want a little special treat, podcast people, you got your special code in the pre-roll. So go get started at swolenormousx.com, and you'll be hearing more from me. I'll be blasting a lot about that this coming week or two because there's going to be the gym rush, and I'm here to help as many people that are ready to be helped. But those of you that are already engaged and already plugged in, you know what's up. We're just going to keep on crushing. We've been crushing for the past fucking year and a half, 2 years. We're going to keep on moving. And another thing that just popped into my head right now, today is what, December 31st? 1 month from today is episode 1000. Pretty cool, right? January 31st, I believe, is episode 1000. So yeah, just another day though, right? Super cool. But thank you so much, everyone, for joining me for episode 969 of the most muscular Swolecast, Beercast, Broadcast, Gamecast, Mancast, Pimpcast, Sleevescast, Slaycast, Taintcast, and New Year's Eve cast in the realm. Because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. Be safe tonight, and I'll see everyone tomorrow for 970 of the Daily Mother Swole. Peace, my geese, deuce, my goose, your boy, Papa Swole, out.